Press the bell icon to never miss a video from POPxo Daily.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Makeup 101, and today we're going to talk about makeup brushes. Yes, I'm going to talk about all the makeup brushes which are a must-have in your kit if you are a beauty enthusiast like me. I think that it's so much better to handpick your brushes separately and not buy a set, because in a set you never get all the brushes that you need. So these are a few that I completely vouch for. First thing that I will talk about is this beauty blender. It's a pink beauty blender, and this I got from Singapore, but you can get a blender from P.A.C Cosmetics or Real Techniques, even Body Shop. I have used all three and I think they're amazing. I also feel a beauty blender is a must in your kit. So talking about this one in particular, this I personally love. Why? Because first, it's extremely cushiony and soft on my skin. The application and the blending is beautiful and easy. It does not absorb a lot of product, so I have to use very little. So the second thing that I'm going to talk about is this buffing brush, the foundation brush from P.A.C. It is a P.A.C 231. If you see, it's extremely dense, it's extremely packed. So it makes the application super easy. It packs the product on your face beautifully. It doesn't absorb too much product, so I need a very little foundation. And I use this brush in the stippling motion like that. So you have to buff out your foundation as much as you can. So I definitely recommend this. If you're not a beauty blender person, then this brush is definitely a go-to. So moving on to third product, second brush. This is a concealer brush. This is from P.A.C again. This is P.A.C 272. I'm going to show it to you how it looks. It's an angular brush. It's a medium size. You see the bristles. It is kind of dense, but not as dense as your buffing brush, the foundation brush that I showed you. Like, it makes the blending really easy. I feel like the concealer, the density is perfect. Also, I love that it's angled and the size is so perfect that I can blend the inner corner and the sides and around the nose. In fact, imagine, because of the angle, it's so easy for me to get that snatched look that everyone's doing these days. The next brush that we're going to talk about is the powder brush. This is again from P.A.C. It is P.A.C 245. I'm going to show you the brush. So if you see, again, this is not very tightly packed. It's not very dense, but it's not very loose. I generally use loose powder and you like softly touch around, but when it comes to your under eye and especially the areas where you get lines, your laugh lines, you want to like pack on a little more product. So this is perfect for that. I love that it has a tapered top, so application of the product under my eye becomes extremely easy. And what I do is I generally take a lot of like whatever amount of product that I want to, and then pack it under my eye, let it sit, and whatever is left in the brush is something that I like softly touch around my face. So this works wonderfully for my face, and I definitely recommend this brush. Next products that I'm going to talk about is your blush brush. So I have two brushes for it. It's your choice depending on what kind of blush you're using. So this is a buffing brush from Real Techniques, and I use it for liquid blush. I'm going to show you the brush, and if you see the bristles, slightly dense. It's not very loose like your usual blush brush. This is slightly dense, and I prefer using dense brushes for any cream based product because the blending is a lot smoother and nicer. It's very difficult to blend a cream based product with a fluffy brush or a loose brush. Now the second brush that I use is this one. This is from P.A.C. It's a P.A.C 335. I'll show you the brush. So it's slightly big, but I love the application. As you can see, it's very loose. It's not tight at all. So one thing that I love about P.A.C brushes is it does not shed at all. The bristles are extremely soft. For the quality that they deliver, they're actually pocket friendly. Now, contour and bronzing. So again, I have two brushes. I use this sculpting brush, which is Arte 401 from Real Techniques. An angle brush, extremely dense. It's very packed. You see, there's barely any movement in this brush. This is the brush that I use when I want to blend a cream contour, and with this brush the blending is so easy, also because it's angled, so it's actually easier to get that sculpt while you're blending. So I really recommend this if you're using a cream contour. It's like a powder product, you really can't buff it out with this. Now for powder, I personally prefer something a little more like a little smaller and a little tapered, because you want your contour to be extremely precise. So I use this contour brush from Real Techniques. If you see, it is very small and it's not tightly packed at all. It's extremely loose. And because of the size, I get such a beautiful and smooth, softened, diffuse contour on my cheek. And it's so easy to blend because the bristles are so soft and loosely packed. So when I'm doing this, I can easily blend it and it gives me a very smooth line. Also, my contour doesn't go all over the place because of the size. So I prefer a contour brush to be slightly smaller as compared to your blush brush or your powder brush. So these are the two brushes that you should have in your kit if you are somebody who contours. So now we're going to talk about eyes. So for eyeshadow blending, I'm going to show you the basic 5 that you need to get at least a decent smoky eye with like 3 to 4 transition shades. So these 5 brushes are here. So I'm going to start with the blending brushes first. So these 2 are my blending brushes. First one is from Arte. It's PE22. I'm going to show you the brush. So if you see, it's quite a big brush and it's very loose, very loose. So basically this is the main blending brush which I generally use for the base of the eye. Like this is the first color that I apply on my eye after my concealer powder, because it's extremely big and loose. So it kind of covers the entire eye with your base color and it helps with the blending. So the blending is super easy with this, but you will not get precision. Now when it comes to the precision and creating that depth, the hood, here, this hood, I use this blending brush. This is PAC 260. So you can see the brush. Now this is slightly smaller, tightly packed and has a tapered top, and it's slightly dense. See, it's a little tight as compared to the other one. So this one gives me the precision that I'm looking for, especially you want to get like a darker corner and you want to pack more product here at the corner of your eye. This is perfect to create that hood. See, it fits my hood. I get that precision and I know that it's not going to go all over the place. And then I start blending. I softly start blending around the corner and I take it as a little bit inside. Now the third brush is slightly flat. Now this is my application brush. This is slightly flat, if you see, but it's also a little poofy. This is a AE25 from Arte. So this is my application brush when I want to pack on product, especially on the lid here. When you want to highlight your eyes, this is perfect because it gives me that precision again, that I can go all the way to the inner corner without disturbing the lines on the top, right? So this is the flat brush that I use, and because it's slightly poofy, it makes the blending super easy. Then comes the fourth and the fifth brush. Now you have to see this one. This is from PAC 096. It's a very tiny brush. It's a flat brush, but it's a very tiny brush. And this is the brush that I use to add shadow on my lower lash line here. I also have puffy eyes, so I have to kind of give a little bit of, create a little bit of shadow on my lash line to kind of cover the puffiness of my eyes, and it works beautifully. Because it's so precise and so fine, you can go as close as you want to your lash line. It will be very, very precise. And then I use this pencil brush, you can see, and I use this pencil brush to blend that shadow like that, slowly. Then I'll blend the shadow in. I can also use this pencil brush to apply a highlighter into my inner corners, or a little bit on a highlighter on the brow bone. It's perfect for that. It's a PAC 208. So now I'm going to talk about the highlight brush. This is the brush that I use to apply highlighter. It is PAC 131. As you can see, it's a flat brush, a little poofy, extremely loose. I love it, and it's tiny. The shape is very similar to the blush brush that I have, but it is almost like 3 or 4 sizes smaller. But this is one of my favorite highlight brushes. I personally do not like the fan brushes because I feel that it creates a very harsh line that I don't like. My face has to look dewy. I don't want to look like a chandelier. So some people really like a lot of highlighter on their face. I'm not one of those people. That's why I prefer a brush as tiny as this, so I can get my highlighter just on the high points and nowhere else. If I want more, I'm going to blend it out. That's my choice. But this is perfect. I want a little here. I want to create like a little C, a little bit on my top, brow bone. This is my favorite highlighter brush, and I think one should definitely have this. I'm done with the basic brushes that I think that a person who's into beauty or likes to do makeup and experiment with makeup should have to begin with. But there are two more brushes which I think one should have, but this is optional. I got this from a very some local brand, so I'm not going to name the brand, but these are actually very good. You can go for any brand you want. First brush is this angled eyebrow brush. This brow brush also comes with a little bit of spoolie. I always brush my brow, and then using this angled brush I obviously fill my brows. So this is one. The other one is this. You generally have a gel liner. It has a felt tip, so you don't really need a brush. But if you're using those small bottles that have kajal, so instead of using the brushes that come along with that, I would say you either go for the angled liner brush or you go for this one. This bent eyeliner brush, which is extremely fine, works for my eye, but I think the angled liner brush also works. So these are just add-ons that I have in my kit. I hope you enjoyed the video. So let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section below. Also let me know if you want to know more about my makeup kit, makeup products. Let me know in the comment section below. For more such videos, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to POPxo Daily. Bye.